The High Court has delayed the switch-off of South Africa's analog television broadcasting with barely 2 days to spare. But the court wants it to get done, pushing back the date by only 3 months until the end of June. This gives government time to ready households around the country. The case was brought by free-to-air broadcaster eTV and Media Monitoring Africa. It argued that government has not done enough to help poor South Africans who cannot afford televisions capable of receiving digital signals. While it has won time, eTV lost most of the relief it sought. eTV is eNCA's sister station. William Bird from Media Monitoring Africa has maintained that government should have had millions more South Africans ready by distributing set-top boxes or decoders more effectively. He's welcomed the delay. Let's hear from him now. William, thanks for your time. So the delay until 3 months' time, are you happy with that result?
Well, it's a start. They've got 3 months to make sure that they install those that had registered, and then they've got another 3 months to install the other 7 or 800,000, 6 or 700,000 odd others after that switch off. So look, I think it gives everyone a bit of breathing room to just make sure that they can get their campaigns off the ground effectively. It means that we can look into what that Centec tender was about that was issued with 3 days for people to suddenly get involved in it. It also means that hopefully we can start to look at what kind of monitoring systems we can expect government to share with us as to how they are tracking the implementation of these things. So to the extent that it's that we've managed to stop to the extent that we've managed to delay it, I think it's good news for poor South Africans.
There's probably someone calling to congratulate you, William, on that result. Let's take a look at those numbers you spoke about. 507,000 households that need to have been migrated by the end of June, and then there's another 261,000 later on, like you said. Will that have moved the needle enough in your mind for this migration to not affect too many poor South Africans?
Well, the short answer is no. I don't think that it will actually. You know what? So what the courts decided is they looked at the number of households that were registered or registrations, as opposed to looking at the number of poor people that government had originally said that they were actually going to provide set-top boxes for, and that was in the order of 3.5 million. So they're now looking at a number of around 1.2 million. So there's still going to be a huge number of people that are not going to have been included in this. So the short answer is it gives us some breathing room, but I think that there's still an awfully long way to go. We really do have to see how government is going to be able to ramp up their efforts to get these things installed. It's an opportunity for people to start to work together. It doesn't help when your minister then behaves in a manner that doesn't see the bigger vision, but looks to respond out of pettiness and anger at what the SABC has chosen to do. And those kinds of things, I think, are going to just add further delays. We're still talking to our legal teams to look into the judgment fully, and we'll decide on a path from there.
The court also found, though, that government has done enough within its powers to help poor South Africans to migrate from analog to digital. So what more needs to be done, and by who?
Yeah, look, I think there we would strongly disagree with the court on that. I don't think that that the government provided any evidence as to what they've done to help the poor to migrate. We know from efforts that government has made around the COVID vaccine, for example, that it took them a good long time to work out how they need to get their vaccine rates up, and even now they're still struggling because they need to actually get into the communities and get those things done. Saying to people, oh, go and register at the post office is not an answer for the majority of poor people. It's just not something that's that easy to do, and it doesn't really solve that problem. So I think that is an unfortunate element of the judgment, and we would strongly disagree with that.
Moving forward, the court says that government doesn't necessarily have to consult with yourself or with eTV. Are you still going to try and work something out? We had the president speaking about the need to negotiate some of these disputes. Are you still going to try and work something out with government?
Look, for our part, it was that we weren't consulted on the particular analog switch-off date. not that we haven't been consulted and been participating in digital migration. We've been doing that since it started in like 2012 or something. We've been making submissions since then. So we've been actively engaged. The thing that no one was consulted on, or very few people were consulted on, was the analog switch-off date. And so there, I think probably the court erred in that particular regard. We're not going to say that they should necessarily consult with us as just because of who we are as NGOs, but we do think that they need to consult people more broadly when you make a decision like this that's going to impact the entire country. They didn't consult any community television media, they didn't consult ETV, and they didn't consult the public on that date. So, that stands.
All right, William, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Media Monitoring Africa's William Bird.